On the night of February 13th, 2000, a cold storm moved across North Carolina. Rain fell steadily, strong winds rattled windows, and most families stayed indoors, waiting for the weather to pass. In the small town of Shelby, 9-year-old Asha Degree went to bed like any other child. By sunrise, she was gone. More than 2 decades later, despite countless leads, national attention, and one of the largest investigations in North Carolina history, nobody can say with certainty what happened to Asha Degree. Her disappearance remains one of America's most haunting, unsolved mysteries. This is the story of Asha Degree. Asha Degree was born on August 5, 1990. She lived with her parents, Harold and Aquila Degree, and her older brother, O'Brien, in a quiet neighborhood in Shelby, North Carolina. By all accounts, Asha was a happy child. She was known as shy but friendly. She enjoyed basketball, school activities, and spending time with her family. Her parents maintained a structured household, and Asha rarely went anywhere without permission. Friends, relatives, teachers, and investigators would later describe her as responsible and cautious. Nothing in her behavior suggested she would suddenly run away. The weekend before her disappearance had been mostly ordinary. On Saturday, February 12th, Asha attended a basketball game. During the game, she fouled out and was reportedly upset by her performance. However, family members later said she seemed to recover quickly and behaved normally afterward. That evening, the Degree family spent time together at home. A storm moved into the area, bringing rain and strong winds. At some point during the night, the power briefly went out. The family eventually settled in for bed. Asha shared a bedroom with her brother. Everything appeared normal. According to investigators, sometime after midnight, Asha left her home carrying a backpack. No signs of forced entry were found. No evidence suggested anyone had entered the house. Asha simply walked out the front door and disappeared into the darkness. The timeline that followed would become one of the most puzzling aspects of the entire case. Several motorists later reported seeing a young girl walking along Highway 18 in the early morning hours. One truck driver noticed a small figure moving south along the roadside. Another witness became concerned enough to turn his vehicle around. As he approached, the girl reportedly ran off the road and disappeared into a wooded area. The witness later believed the child he saw was Asha Degree. These sightings occurred miles from her home. If accurate, they indicated that a 9-year-old girl had been walking alone through heavy rain before dawn. The circumstances made little sense. Why would a cautious child leave the safety of her home in the middle of the night? Where was she going? And what happened after she disappeared into the darkness? When morning arrived, Asha's family discovered she was missing. Panic quickly spread through the household. Relatives, neighbors, and local authorities immediately began searching. The investigation expanded rapidly. Volunteers searched roads, fields, wooded areas, and nearby properties. Law enforcement officers worked to reconstruct Asha's final known movements. At first, investigators considered the possibility that she had wandered away voluntarily. However, as evidence accumulated, the case became increasingly mysterious. A major development came a few days after the disappearance. Searchers discovered items believed to belong to Asha inside a storage shed near the highway where witnesses had reported seeing her. Among the items reportedly found were candy wrappers, a pencil, and other objects connected to the young girl. The discovery suggested she may have stopped there during her journey. Yet the shed offered no explanation for where she went next. Instead, it deepened the mystery. Investigators now had evidence that she had likely traveled farther than anyone initially expected. But they still had no clear destination and no suspect. The case quickly attracted widespread media attention. Missing child posters appeared across the region. News reports highlighted the unusual circumstances. Unlike many child disappearances, there was no obvious sign of abduction at the home. There was no ransom demand. There were no known enemies. And there was no clear reason for Asha to leave. As months turned into years, investigators continued pursuing leads. Hundreds of tips arrived from across the country. Many were investigated and eventually dismissed. Despite extensive efforts, no definitive breakthrough emerged. Then, in August 2001, approximately 18 months after Asha vanished, another major discovery changed the course of the investigation. Construction workers uncovered Asha's backpack in Burke County, North Carolina. The location was roughly 26 miles from Shelby. The backpack had been wrapped in plastic bags and buried. Inside were items connected to Asha. The discovery immediately raised new questions. The backpack's condition suggested that someone may have intentionally concealed it. Investigators viewed the finding as significant evidence that another person could have been involved in her disappearance. Yet even with this critical discovery, the mystery remained unsolved. Forensic examinations were conducted. Evidence was analyzed. Leads were pursued. But no arrest followed. As the years passed, the case remained active. Law enforcement agencies continued reviewing evidence, interviewing witnesses, and evaluating new information. Advances in forensic technology provided renewed hope. Investigators repeatedly stated that they had not given up. Meanwhile, Asha's family continued searching for answers. Every year, they participated in events designed to keep public attention focused on the case. They spoke with reporters, attended community gatherings, and urged anyone with information to come forward. For them, the passage of time did not lessen the pain. A 9-year-old girl had disappeared without explanation. The questions remained unchanged. What motivated her to leave home? Did she plan the trip herself? Did she intend to meet someone? Or did she encounter danger after leaving the house? The case has generated countless theories over the years. Some believe Asha left voluntarily and encountered an unknown predator along the way. Others suspect she may have been lured from home by someone she trusted. Investigators have examined numerous possibilities, but no theory has been conclusively proven. What makes the disappearance particularly unsettling is the combination of evidence. Witnesses appear to have seen a child matching Asha's description, walking alone. Personal belongings connected to her were recovered. Her backpack was later found miles away, hidden under suspicious circumstances. Yet the most important piece of the puzzle remains missing. Asha herself has never been found. In many missing person cases, investigators struggle because there are no clues. In Asha Degree's case, there are clues. There are witnesses. There is physical evidence. There is a timeline. But the pieces refuse to fit together in a way that provides a clear answer. More than 20 years after that stormy February night, the disappearance of Asha Degree continues to haunt investigators, her family, and the community of Shelby. Somewhere between her bedroom and the place where her backpack was discovered, the trail disappears. The truth remains hidden. For Asha's family, the hope of finding answers has never fully faded. And for investigators, the case remains open. A little girl stepped into the darkness before dawn and never returned. Until the missing pieces are found, the disappearance of Asha Degree remains one of the most enduring and heartbreaking mysteries in American criminal history.